Okay, guys, let's roll. Here we are. And there he is, the man to blame, Ribeye Rob. He's been out trying to earn some money for food on the side over with the gobster. I was told. He must have made a skeleton key or something, mustn't he? I don't know how we got over there with no clothes on. Okay, what have we got? Got four of us. We've got Ribeye Rob, Dan Slam, and GA. Yeah, I'm here. Why have we got two Ribeye Robs and two Stan Slams? I don't know. Do you like the background image, Ribeye? Well, hello there. My name's Jeff and I got a tash. Well, hello there. There's Lady J and I, friend of Freedom Dad's, I think. Oh, I went over to Freedom Dad's channel. That was really good. Well, I suppose I'd have to say that because I was in it. Freedom Dad recorded that chat him and I had the other day. Yeah, and there's someone's got manners. Angloing angles for manners. L's angles. Yeah. Anyhow, let's start off with some of this. What have we got? Oh yeah, we got this.
Come all you weary travelers and hearken to my tale of a brigantine of cedarwood that weathered every gale. She didn't hunt for silver coin or chests of Spanish tea, but sailed for every soul in need across the churning sea. The rigging hums a noble tune beneath the light of a hunter's moon. Oh, the green arrow flies o'er the crest and the foam. With a heart made of gold, he will lead the way home. With a crew full of heroes, the brave and the bold, they're worth more than all of the pirate king's gold. Heave away, haul away, the green arrow's here to save the day. The captain was a quiet man with eyes of forest light. He'd pull a drowning sailor from the clutches of the night. He kept no iron shackles and he kept no heavy whip, just a band of honest brothers on a mercy-giving ship. Oh, the green arrow flies o'er the crest and the foam. With a heart made of gold, he will lead the way home. With a crew full of heroes, the brave and the bold, they're worth more than all of the pirate king's gold. Heave away, haul away, the green arrow's here to save the day. When the Kraken rose in anger and the sky turned ink and black, the arrow didn't falter and he didn't turn his back. He stood upon the quarterdeck, a beacon in the spray, and led his band of heroes till the breaking of the day. So if you're lost at sea, my lad, and hope is wearing thin, look out toward the horizon where the stormy clouds begin. You'll see a flash of emerald, a hull of sturdy oak, and find the finest people that the heavens ever spoke. Oh, the green arrow flies o'er the crest and the foam. With a heart made of gold, he will lead the way home. With a crew full of heroes, the brave and the bold, they're worth more than all of the pirate king's gold. Heave away, haul away, the green arrow's here to save the day. The green arrow is coming home.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Hang on, get back. Oh, let's have a chat first. What do you think the image is about, guys? Will they have the courage to show up? Answers in the comments. I look pink. Super nut. Sun's out there. Don't want that, do I? Let's stay pink. Lee's finished playing golf. Good. Never understood it. I got a lot of friends. Well, I haven't really got a lot of friends. I know a lot of people, and they keep saying they're all sort of successful in life. I'm the only failure, really. All my other friends are millionaires. They asked me to go play golf with them. Why on it? I wouldn't mind just walking around the green, but playing golf, no. I've never been interested in sport. I don't mind watching people play chess or even a game of cricket. No. Anyhow, anybody, any idea? Yeah. Will they? Yeah. Taking a little. At least in rugby, a rugby ball's a bit bigger than a golf ball, isn't it? But they tell me it's relaxing and you can network and have fun. The only time I used to go shooting, go out with the wrecking crew, as they were called, was we'd sometimes go, there's a guy with a bit of an estate and we'd go shooting there on his grounds. That was okay, I suppose. Yeah, I didn't mind that. Anyhow, anybody, any ideas? Who are we waiting for? That's the Green Arrow and his second ribeye. Yeah. Just standing there doing nothing again. Yeah. Who am I waiting for? Who do you think will show up? There's two people we've offered out, haven't they? No, I'm not waiting for our birthday Rex. Why didn't he call himself Durex? That's what I said to him. Call yourself Durex. No. Who did I? Now, come on, Ribeye, you're supposed to know these things in case I'm not about. Who did I offer to come over and have a chat with me? Two people I've asked over. Yeah. Yeah, that Welsh clown. Yeah. Hello, Ragnar the Vikings. Oh, hang on, I think, yeah. Nobody knows. Well, I extended, yes, our Barthax knows that. He knows, doesn't he? Yeah, and he's a newcomer. Well, to this channel, he has been around a bit. Yeah, he knew. I've been looking at the news, man, it is kicking off over there, isn't it? When I get a chance, I'll get over and see if I can find the latest. Let's have something. Let's have a quick look here. What's the news over in Ireland? Live. Several arrests made at Whitegate. Guards that deploy pepper spray. Ministers and representatives finish for the day. Well, good luck to the patriots in the Republic of Ireland. I hope they can regain control of their country. I'm sure they can. What's this? Yeah. Lady, he's not worth bothering about. I understand he's been ill, Crohn's disease or something. I don't know. Some people can handle pressure better than others. If anyone has any reason to be bitter about treatment by fellow patriots in the past, it would be myself and Ribeye Rob. Yeah, and we've got over it and moved on. But Simon seems to still be fighting the wars he was fighting in 2004, 2005. when he left the British National Party. He can't drop it. I mean, if I wanted to open old wounds, I've only got to go upstairs onto my old machine and look in the folders I've got up there with all the information on all the attacks against me. And some of those people are still about today. And, well, I've buried my hatchet. No, yeah. I've moved on from it. I'm no longer bitter about it. I was for a long time. But is he crying again? Whatever you do, don't give him sympathy. He thrives on it. You give him sympathy, and the next thing you know, he'll be asking you for food and clothes. I've got to keep him trained. Missouri in the States. Good luck. Yeah, good luck. Missouri. Gamal. Georgia, Alabama, Missouri, and Louisiana. I read a book years ago. I think it was called Gamal. Georgia, Alabama, Missouri, and Louisiana. And those were the states where they had segregation, and all the people of color, those folk, they all went to live in those 5 states. Wasn't an happy ending. They didn't succeed. Yes, I think I saw something over there on the news, didn't I? 1 second. I think I'm fairly positive I read that there's no fuel in the pumps. I was reading earlier on. News, politics, region, Ireland. Yeah, here we go. 600 filling stations around Ireland run dry. Yeah. No, I don't want notifications. Around 600 of the 1,600 filling stations around Ireland have run dry. Oh, well, that's not good at all, is it? Let's have a look here. I tell you what, I'm going to play this.
That happened on Sunday.
Jeff Taylor woke up to the sound of his alarm groaning, which seemed
I love
fitting.
this.
He himself was groaning.
Hello there.
His hair was a chaotic swirl of grey on the sides, leaving the top suspiciously bare, like a tiny, reluctant stage. His mustache, however, stood perfectly in line, sternly disciplined, silently judging the rest of him. He yawned. The first challenge, dressing for his first YouTube video of the day. He shuffled through a wardrobe made for bigger people. Pinstripe suit, check. Oversized paperclip, check. Socks that actually matched, a small miracle. He tugged at his sleeves, straightened his collar, and, in a moment of vanity or despair, examined himself from head to toe. "You're presentable," he said aloud, mostly to himself. Pausing, he added, "ish." His tiny frame in the huge chair looked almost comically heroic, like a man trying to occupy a space far larger than himself. Today was for marches, for crowds, for flags snapping in the wind, and for shouting into the void. The streets were alive. Union Jacks waved, megaphones barked, chants rose and fell like unpredictable waves. Jeff planted himself among them, elbow high to most knees, trying to wedge a voice into the roar. "Excuse me, hello, just a quick word." A boot nearly crushed him. He leapt sideways with surprising agility, adjusted his paperclip, and tried again. "My name is Jeff Taylor," he shouted, reddening as the familiar indignation took hold. "I've got no hair. Well, not on top. Please don't just walk past. Listen, just hear me." The crowd roared on, oblivious. His tiny feet stomped. His fists gestured wildly. He was invisible, a storm in a thimble. He ducked under waving flags, sidestepped trampling boots, flinched around elbows. Every attempt to speak was swallowed by the surrounding chaos. He was a proper fury, confined to a very small body. He muttered to no one in particular. There was another reason he kept at it, a quiet, driving challenge that fueled all his red-faced shouting. Tommy Robinson. Seeing the man, hearing the name, imagining being noticed, even briefly, by him, that was a dream, a goal. The impossible little spark that made all the nearly trampling, the chaos, the shouting worth it.
Hello there.
Hours later, he finally trudged home. No noise, no boots, no near-extinction events every half second. Just a chair, a quiet room, and a cup of cocoa he held like a fragile trophy. The steam curled upward, warm and comforting, carrying with it the faint scent of triumph that nobody else would ever smell. He flicked on a live stream he had bookmarked, the one he watched every night. Familiar voice, familiar cadence. And then, his name, clear, unprompted. He froze, rewound, played it again. There it was, undeniable. A small, slow smile curled his lips. For a brief moment, he wasn't invisible. The world had noticed his efforts, his chaos, his tiny fury, all validated. And even if Tommy Robinson had no idea, even if the recognition was fleeting, it had felt close enough. He leaned back in his chair, cocoa in hand, and felt something he rarely allowed himself. Chuffed. Properly chuffed. The little man had won today in the only way that mattered. He had been heard. Hello there, he whispered softly to himself, not demanding, not asking, just said. He had a great night's sleep that night, dreaming of the day he had just lived. Every march, every shout, every near miss, every red-faced indignation replayed like a tiny parade in his dreams. He slept like someone who had finally been noticed, tiny, triumphant, and utterly satisfied. Good night, children. And remember, if you're not nice to people, and you tell fibs to the world, one day Focus on Britain might just make a video about you. Bye for now.
Woke up, felt too real. Saw me on the telly making big deal, smiling, saying I would be nice. Then it's back to his room, to his same old life. Staring lines, like and subscribe. Gets it right this time under his task. Don't forget, Jeff. Got it all planned, but it feels off track. Half a dream that he can't get back. Played the clip getting heavy. Personality, I sure lie. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? Or send me some cash, cause my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, streets loud. Million people in a waving crowd. Faces change, you don't recognize under his eyes. Angry, no one cares. Too small, drowned out by the louder voices. Cars, I am here, don't land right. Disappears. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? Or send me some cash, my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, scrolling through his phone. Looking for proof he was not alone. Swear I was there. Small like an elf, late screen on bright. Finds a live stream later that night. Saw me saying it with a grin, leans in. Spotting him in, thinks he hears something close to his name. Sounds the same, smiling now. Somehow he's small, but it don't feel that way. For a little moment at the end of the day, watches it once, then once again, like he is proving where he has been. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? Or send me some cash, cause my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, lays down quiet. Thinking back on it all that way, still not seen, but he don't mind. Small as a mouse. Hello there, I am Jeff Taylor. Advance is finished. Thought is diminished. That is that.
I didn't get my share of the shekels last time, Richard.
No, I know. I must have kept them for myself. Yes.
Yeah.
Bloody
Typical
hell.
Zionist.
Okay, let's have a look at some news, is there? What's happening in the ROI? Several arrests made at Whitegate. You guys have told us that. They got the Defence Forces at the oil refinery, the Guardia. The Guardia are not popular out in the ROI. People have also been urged to expect delays on the M50. Not our M50, the Dublin one. Appropriating our motorways, eh? M50 fuel protesters updates, slip roads blocked, some tailback, yeah. Road closures, yeah. Meeting between ministers. Ships could soon be turned away from Rossley. Oh, well, let's have a... I've got to find a song for you guys, but I'm going to play this one to go on with.
wheel with a heart of gold and nerves of steel, a quiet strength in every stride, walking always by my side. He doesn't need a crown to wear, just being there he shows he'll care. Oh, for the father standing tall, the ones who catch us when we fall, with a gentle word and a guiding light, keeping shadows from the night. Oh, the Father's brave and true, this melody we play for you. Through the summer heat and winter snow, he watched the seeds of kindness grow. He taught me how to stand my ground in a world that's spinning round and round. A hero in an old work shirt who healed the soul and eased the hurt. Oh, for the Father standing tall, the ones who catch us when we fall, with a gentle word and a guiding light, keeping shadows from the night. For the Father's brave and true, this melody we play for you. More than a name, more than a man, a foundation for the master plan, a legacy that never ends, the greatest of our lifelong friends.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's talk about this here. Chirac, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Thank you for your efforts. That is appreciated. I don't really want to go to war with Simon Tomlin. We were both former BNP. Okay. So he got kicked down by some people in the past. But he shouldn't let it rule his life. And I'm not attacking him. But as a BNP member, well, BNP guys are normally pretty tough and they can take anything. They can knock them down. They'll recover and they'll get back up and back into it. I mean, all I wanted to do to talk to him about Chirac, and the point of my video, perhaps I could have made it a bit more diplomatic, was I just wanted to talk to him, to ask him what he thought was an option to restore Britain and Rupert Lowe. That's all I wanted to ask him. And yeah, we need positive people. We need people with we can win this fight kind of attitude. Yeah, not someone saying, well, I've got the solution, but you'll have to buy my book. That was a bit of a swipe then as well, wasn't it? But Chirac, seriously, thank you very much for trying. That's what the background images about today? Will they have the courage to show up? There's two people I would hope would have the courage to show up there. One of them is Simon, and rest assured this wouldn't be an ambush. Ribeye wouldn't allow it in the comments for a start, and you know the policies on comments now. And the other one, of course, is the person who sent me that rather nasty email that upset my wife, but she's been through it before. She'll get used to it. Sad thing was, last time we were stopped seeing our grandchildren. This time it could mean that I wouldn't be able to see my great-granddaughter. That would be painful. They wouldn't like what sort of person I turn into then. Right, Chirac, I've told him to give you a chance and that you both have things in common, that you really only want to chop it up about the old BNP days, and told him I think it would be good and it'd be sound of you. He would be sound, Chirac. I'd greet him. I mean, he was in it in the days of John Tyndall, and those were rough days for activists. I'm not sure that the activists of today can put up with the kind of nonsense that Simon and I and Ribeye and one or two others, the old guard, I wish the old guard would come on here, more of the old guard. We had it really tough, and indeed, rest in peace, Peter Lynch. The other one I'd like to come up, and why I've given him a chance, is the guy who sent that letter. It was strange. Somebody left a comment, a very good comment. They said, for someone who said he was out in Northern Ireland in the army, he didn't seem to realise that it wasn't just the army out there. There was the Royal Navy and the RAF working in different places all over Ulster. Yeah. I'd like it if he could come in, apologise, and ask him to account for why he said the things about me which are so obviously disprovable. I mean, I saw in a comment earlier on today someone who knows me from my past and confirmed about it, you know? I made a video about it, providing all the evidence that anyone should ever need. I mean, it's not as if I'm hiding who I am. I mean, come and visit my village. I tell you where I drink. I show you where I drink. I show you my barmaid. Not all of that. Some parts where I keep private. No. There are boys there from the RAF regiment who were in the RAF regiment. There are boys, they're men now, men who were in the Royal Navy at the same time as me. And my cousin was in the RAF at the same time as me. They all know what I done. And apart from that, I don't lie. Right, I think we've got something a bit different now. So that's what the image is, guys. I'm waiting to see if they show up. Either way, I wouldn't be ambushing either of them. I treat them with respect and just ask them why they done it. Or rather, the one way they done it. Let's have a look at this. Let's get over here. I think I'll go there. Yeah, I think I'll go here, this one. Then we'll go over here. This is kind of different. I haven't heard this.
I never thought I missed the wait. Life's lighter now, but my heart feels heavy. Check it.
Yeah. I'm looking in the mirror, staring at this chest. Used to be a pillow, used to be the best. I traded in the curves for a flat, cold line.
Now there's nothing bouncing when I'm feeling fine. I bought the gym membership, I did the fasted cardio, but I didn't know I was saying goodbye to my favorite scenario. When the wind blows cold, I feel the breeze. Used to have a built-in heater, living life with ease. Now my shirts just hang, no tension on the threads. I'm haunted by the ghost of the volume in my bed. Oh, I got that move nostalgia washing over me, missing those circles of pure identity. They were soft, they were mine, they were sculptural art. Now I'm just a skinny man with a hole in his heart. Yeah, I'm ripped, yeah, I'm lean, but at what cost? Oh, thinking about the bounce that I permanently lost. I remember the way they settle when I lay on my back. A natural cushion, I never felt a lag. People told me get fit, told me lose the weight, but they didn't see the beauty in that heavy state. Now I'm reaching 220 just to fill the space, but muscles got no soul, it's got no grace. So where did the jiggle go? I miss the sway. Oh, I'm aerodynamically lonely, I'm hydrodynamically sad. I'm the fittest version of myself, and it's the worst I've ever had. Oh, I got that mood nostalgia washing over me, missing those circles of pure identity. They were soft, they were mine, they were sculptural art. Now I'm just a skinny man with a hole in his heart. Yeah, I'm ripped, yeah, I'm lean, but at what cost? Oh, thinking about the bounce that I permanently lost. Just me and my abs, and my abs don't understand me like they did. Rest in peace, fellas. Yeah. Hey.
Oh dear, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't know what to have done that. Better do something quick. Better do this. Oh dear.
Woke up to the
But let me show you something that happened on Sunday.
Jeff
No.
Taylor woke up to the sound of his alarm groaning.
Let's do this quick. I don't think they noticed.
I found a photograph tucked in a box under the stairs
This is for the ladies.
of a woman with a tired smile and 100,000 prayers. You were stitching up my grazed knees and drying every tear, building up a kingdom out of love and chasing every fear. I didn't have the words back then, I was small and just a child, but I was safe within the sanctuary of every time you smiled. And I know I didn't always make it easy for you, Ma, chasing shadows in the street and reaching for the stars, but you were the gravity that kept my feet on the ground,
Mic is open.
the quietest strength that I have ever found. So here's one for the moms, for the heart of the home, the light in the window when we're feeling alone, for the late night talks and the call me when you're there, for the silent sacrifices and the way you always care. You're the heartbeat of the family, the steady hand, the sun. Yeah, this one's for the mothers, 'cause you're the only one. Now I'm older and the world feels a little more cold. I see the silver in your hair, a story to be told of the dinners on the table when the cupboards were near bare, and how you'd listen to my nonsense like $1 million prayer. You taught me how the kindness works, you taught me how to give. You showed me that a life of love is the only way to live. And I know I didn't always say I love you enough when the road was getting rocky and the weather getting rough. But you were the compass and you were the map, finding every answer with me sitting in your lap. So here's one for the moms, for the heart of the home, the light in the window when we're feeling alone, for the late night talks and the call me when you're there, for the silent sacrifices and the way you always care.
Hold on,
You're
guys.
the
I'll pause
heartbeat of
first.
the family, the steady hand, the sun. Yeah, this one's for the mothers, 'cause you're the only one. It's a love that doesn't bargain, it's a love that doesn't break. It's the patience and the giving and the soul in every bake. If I'm half the person that
I'm going to stop there, guys, because we've got this gentleman. Okay. Welcome to the room, Freedom Dad.
Hello, mate. How you doing? I'm only popping in to say hello to everybody and say hello to yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just had a wee drink last night. I don't drink very often, but I'm in Scotland with my mates, and this is where I come to relax, mate. This is where I'm safe, the safest place for me right now. You know what I mean? So it's always good to relax and let the hair down, and I'll be back to Belfast in a week or so. Got other stuff to do. I don't want to say too much, you know what I mean? We've got another demo coming up, so I'll have soon. So I want to report on that, and then I'll be heading back. So I am. So that was a bit of a marathon. What do you call it? Live stream the other day, the other night. Dino being, you had a lot of celebrities on there, Paul.
Well, the channel's growing, and it's all your fault, Freedom Dad. You created a monster. You created a monster. Freedom Dad, I watched your video this morning where you reported on it. Actually, I really enjoyed sitting down because I had a chance to really listen to you speak and take in what you were saying, and it was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I hope you didn't mind. The reason why I did it, mate, was because my volume. There was something wrong with my volume. I don't know if your volume was maybe higher. I don't know, but everybody else's volume was all right. So what I did was I screen recorded it and then put it through CapCut and then turned the volume up every time I spoke and then put it back up again. You know what I mean? So it sounded better. That was the reason why I done it, just so everybody could hear. Because I knew a lot of people were having problems hearing, so I wanted everybody to hear it properly. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, that's why I done it, mate. So thanks for. I knew you would have been all right. You know what I mean? I know us guys don't need to ask each other to use our stuff. You know what I mean? It's like
not at all, not at all,
100%, mate, 100%. So did you have any? Did you have a bet in the Grand National?
No, I didn't. Strangely enough, I stopped gambling years ago. It must be I used to gamble, poker, 3-card, brag, gaming machines, all the usual stuff. And then one day I went down the pub and I gambled it all away in the fruit machine, and everybody else was still drinking, and I had to go home, and I thought, that's it, I'm never going to gamble again on anything. So
yeah. Well, I was a wee bit like yourself. I used to do the horses when I was younger, and then I ended up started doing the dogs, and then a wise man told me you don't bet on any other dog but your own. So I bought some greyhounds and started training greyhounds and running greyhounds for about 10 years, And but I loved it. I loved the sport. I loved doing it. But the problem was I got attached to the dogs, and I couldn't get rid of the
Ah,
dogs. You know what I mean? So I ended up with about 5 greyhounds that weren't running, weren't making any money, costing me a fortune. So I
yeah.
end up I end up had to stop doing it just to look after the greyhounds. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
well, you could have
yeah,
sold them to the Koreans. Koreans like dogs, don't they? I'm not
yeah,
too sure. No. Now, about your sound yesterday, I could hear you perfectly, but of course
yes,
I'm wearing headsets.
yeah,
But
yeah,
some people do have a problem on this channel,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know. But it was fabulous to listen to when I went over. He's
Yeah,
gone.
I think as long as I talk into this, then it should be a bit clearer. You know what I mean?
You're fine now. You're coming across fine. Anybody
Yeah,
having
happy days.
problems?
Yeah, happy
I
days.
don't
Just want
know.
to say hello to the chat. Said some of my guys are in here. Well, there are guys. They're not my guys. You know what I mean? But
I
I
and
just want to say hello to them all. Lady J. It was Lady J sent me a wee message and told me you were on. I was just about to go for a shower.
we love her. We love
Yeah,
her.
she's from my area, from where I'm born and bred, the village. You know what I mean? She's a village girl,
Ah,
South Belfast, Donegal Road. You know what I mean? So yeah, she's a good gin, mate. She's a good gin.
I,
But
t- I,
Mike, all our communities are good. To be honest with you, mate, honestly, to be honest, my community, I truly believe, is an amazing community. It's homegrown, it's organic. You know, it's you know what I mean. Like I say, I've always made it clear. You know, if I'm not for you, then there's plenty of channels there that for you to choose from, and everybody in my channel are there. Been there for a long time, and they're just amazing, absolutely amazing, and it is a proper community. And I never really seen it coming, mate. I never seen that side of it coming. You know what I mean? I didn't think you would get so close to the community and become friends. And you know, over the last I think it's nearly 2 years, be 2 years in August, I think. You know, and I've made some amazing friends. Like I actually met people now, and I've got people's phone numbers, and we contact each other, and it's good. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of other YouTubers don't make that connection. They won't give out their
no.
personal details and stuff like that. But like I say, I'm from Belfast. You know what I mean? Pretty like living, as you know, loyalist areas, so we're pretty safe. You know what I mean? And like you know, if anybody wants to come and try something in Belfast, good luck to you. You know what I mean?
Hey, one thing I've noticed, I'll say this about the Ulster men and the Ulster women. They didn't get that title loyalists for nothing, did they? They are truly loyal. They're loyal to each other, and they're loyal to Ulster.
Yeah,
Derek's just posted that the Ulster flag is flying in Dublin at this moment. Whoever
that doesn't.
thought we'd see that?
Listen, it doesn't surprise me, Paul, because I've been on the ground down there so many times, and I understand the feeling. And I used to walk up to Irish men and say to them, "Listen, I'm an ex-loyalist prisoner from Ulster. How does that make you feel in Southern Ireland?" And not
Yeah.
one, but obviously the IRA threatened me. The IRA told me not to come back. They came up to me and grabbed me by the arm and stuff and told me I wasn't welcome, not to be coming back, and threatened me. You know what I mean? Which is understandable. You know, there is going to be hardliners in there, but like I was saying to one of my mates the other day, the majority of the Irish people are not hardliners. They're normal people who don't care about division. They don't care about the border. They just care about getting Ireland back to being the way it was. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
don't think the Brits are. It's not any threat from the Brits. Like I say, mate. You know, we're not a threat to them anymore. You know what I mean? It's Islam. It's migration. You know.
It is. But the problem, this is my perspective, Freedom Down. Sinn Féin, they're global Marxist. Sinn Féin IRA, I call them. They're the ones trying to keep the division.
Of course.
That you were
Of
trying
course.
to you were trying to build bridges, and as quick as you were building a bridge, they are trying to burn it down.
Of course they are, because they're terrified. They're losing their voters. They're losing the people. And you've got people like me coming along and bringing Protestants and Catholics together. And while I'm doing that, they're trying to put up Irish sign languages in our areas. They're putting the Palestinian flag up on our city hall, knowing what they're doing. You know, like, let's be honest. At this time right now, we don't need a Palestinian flag flying in any of our city halls. You know,
No,
or an Israeli flag. You know, it's not just about Israel it's none of them. We don't need none of that.
none of them.
And we don't need Irish Sign Language, which is less than 2% of the populations even speak, even if it is that. So there's no reason for it. They are panicking, they are worrying. I've seen videos where they're being chased out of streets, where they're doing canvassing, and they know the
Wow.
feeling on the street. They know what
Wow.
they've done wrong, and they're losing grip very, very fast. And
But
you know, I put a video out there not so long ago, Paul, of an Irishman. I think it was Newry. Now Newry's quite a nationalist area, normally quite a stronghold for republicanism and dissidents. And this guy was like that. You know, when would you ever see Catholics cheering a unionist politician? And he turned
aye,
around and he said it was Niall McConnell, I think he was talking to. He was
aye,
interviewing,
aye.
and he turned around and he goes, you know, if the unionist politicians have got what we want, then we must vote for them. You know, this is
Yeah.
all new. You know, and it's like the reason why I do my videos, Paul, is to try and get my guys to understand. You know, my politicians. You know, because we still have guys in our side that are still bitter, still doing exactly what Sinn Féin are doing and creating division. And what I'm trying to say to them is, stop it. Stop it. This is time for us to come together. You know, Catholics will vote for us because there's nobody else there for them to vote for. You know, this is an opportunity we never seen would ever come in our lifetimes, and we've got to grasp it. You know,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
and where that
Well,
leads us going forward, Paul, God only knows. But I do believe that we can both live in harmony with our own traditions, celebrating our own cultures, like the Easter uprising, the hunger strikers, the 12th of
yeah,
July, the 11th of July. You know, carrying on each other's and just respecting each other's. Because like I know a lot of loyalists, paramilitaries, UVF, UDA, who have a lot of respect for the hunger strikers. They really do.
of
Like, you know,
course, they were brave men. They
of
were.
course,
I mean,
100%.
God forgive me, but at the time when I was out there, and Bobby Sands and the likes of that, they were starving themselves to death, and they were doing the dirty protests. I
Yep.
mean, I hated them. I've put
Yeah.
that behind
Of
me.
course.
Now I regret that hatred. But it always seemed to me when I was out there, some of those ordinary Catholic people protesting on the streets, their children, they were forced out onto the streets by the IRA because I had privy to information that they would go in and tell the parents, get your son down the street throwing stones. And if they didn't, they would kneecap the father. You
Yeah.
know, and I know that for a
Look
fact.
for let's just look at one incident. Jean McConnell. I don't know if you've heard of her. She was a mother of 9, I think, and she was kidnapped
Yes,
by the
yeah,
IRA, and
I
she was
remember it.
missing for 30, 40 years. They've only just found her body a couple of years ago. She was part of they call them the missing or something. I can't I
Yeah.
can't remember. Forgive me for not getting it right, but that was the kind of that was like if they're prepared to do that to a mother of 9 children and leave them children absolutely with no parents, then what would they do to anybody else? And that was how brutal they were. That's how they ruled these areas. You know,
Yes.
and yeah, it's sad, but it's past. You know what I mean? And this is what I keep saying to everybody: let's stop looking backwards and looking forward, because we're not going to go anywhere looking behind us. You know, we're just going to keep walking into things and messing up our future. You know what I mean? And that is the secret. Looking forward, forget about the past. Not forget about it, but we don't need to keep looking back, keep bringing all this shit up. You know, celebrate our traditions, celebrate our cultures and our traditions. Never give up who you are. You know, be proud of who you are, but also respect the other side. And I think, you know, it's difficult saying that. Not a lot of my guys don't agree with it. I've got a lot of guys on my side that don't agree with what I say, but you know, I know I'm right, Paul. This is the thing. You know what I mean?
You are.
For me not to say it because I'm scared. I would be. There's no point me doing this. That's the cop out. I mean, I may as well just give it all up. You know what I mean?
I like one of the phrases that you use quite often, and you're probably not aware of it, Freedom Dad, but you quite often say, Freedom Dad knows. Are you aware you say that?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you go.
No.
Freedom
Cheers,
Dad
mate.
knows.
Yeah.
But I never ever thought this channel, we raised £169 and we bought leaflets for Niall MacDonald, is it, in the Republic of Ireland?
Yes.
Niall?
I've had him on my channel. Believe it or not.
Well, we donated for leaflets, and I was there, and I hit the send button, send the money, and I thought, I never ever thought I'd be sending money to a Republican. And
Yeah. When I got him on the channel, like we had a wee phone call before it, right? And I was like, listen, mate, you want an All Ireland, I don't. So let's just not
Oh,
go there, right?
yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
leave that at the door, and we'll talk about everything else but that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is what it is, mate. You know, I respect him. You know what I mean? You know, he wants an All Ireland. I understand why he wants an All Ireland. I think he understands why I don't. You know, and for anybody that
Yeah.
wonders why I don't, it's because I was born under the Union flag in Great Britain. And I'm not going to have anybody just take it away from me. You know what I mean? It's not my fault I was born in Ulster. I never asked to be born in Ulster, but that's how I was born, and that's who I am. And you know, that's just the way it is. And anybody,
But
any man must feel the same. Nobody, no, they don't want to change where they are. You know what I mean?
of course, the thing is, Freedom Dad, you know as well as I that had you been born in the Republic of Ireland, you'd be calling for a united Ireland and being standing shoulder to shoulder with Niall, wouldn't
Of
you?
course. Oh, of
I
course.
mean,
Aye.
or if you'd been born in, say, the Short Strand instead of the Shankill, you'd
Yeah.
have been in the IRA.
Yeah, of
Because,
course. Well, look at Bobby
yeah,
Sands. Bobby Sands actually came from a mixed marriage. You know what I mean? So that was a flip of a coin. You know what I mean? A lot of the Republicans. I'm not going to name them all. You know what I mean? That were back in the days in the 70s, early 70s when it all started. The reason why they were so good at coming into our areas and doing so much damage was because they lived in our areas. You know, because before the 70s, as you know, we all
yeah,
lived together. People forget this. A lot of my guys over here in Scotland will think the Troubles have been going on for hundreds of years. But, you know, they don't realise that we all lived in harmony before the 70s. You know what I mean?
oh, yeah,
Protestants and Catholics, you know, people can't get that into their heads. It was basically 69 to 70 was the turning point. And that's when families were getting burnt out of homes on both sides, I have to say, because you only ever hear the Catholics will always say, "Oh, the Protestants burnt us out," and blah. But Protestants were burnt out as well. It was on both
of
sides.
course.
There's no two ways about it. Same with the hunger strikers and the dirty protest. There was loyalist prisoners were involved in the dirty protest as well. You know what I mean? It was just highlighted more because of the hunger strikers dying on the Republican side. You know what I mean? So there's lots. We have got lots of things in similar. And you know, I was on a TikTok live last night. A Palestinian, you call him Palestinian TikTok, and I've had to and through with him. I've done a video about him, and he's a hardliner. He comes from, I think he comes from the Falls, and we've had it out, me and him. So I went on this live because I'm not shy. I'll always like speak up, you know what I mean. So I was on a live. I think it was about 10 of them, proper bitter Catholics, you know, really really hitting the Brits. It was that bad. He had to take somebody off the live because they just wouldn't calm down because an ex-loyalist prisoner was on their show, and they were going on about. I was talking about immigration and how we need to remigrate. You know what I mean? And they're not up. They don't want to hear that. All they want to talk about is whose fault it is. Why there is immigration. They want to blame Israel and all the rest of it. And I'm like that. So what does it matter whose fault it is? The problem's here. The problem needs to be
Yeah.
dealt with. I can't deal with Israel or anybody, whoever you think it is, whoever you want to blame for mass migration in the United Kingdom and Ireland. I can't do nothing about that, nor can you. That's bigger than anybody, you know, but we can deal with migration. That is what we can deal with, you know, but I don't know, it's weird. It's very strange how they won't admit that there's a problem. Like, I'm talking about how many sex crimes and how many crimes are being committed by foreigners, and he's wanting me to produce facts. And I'm like, are you
Yeah.
serious? You know, are you serious? Like, crazy, mate. Crazy. It's blinkers. They've got blinkers on, and I just
But
don't know what to do with them. Like, you know.
right, difficult.
Yeah.
Where do you think that the Catholics who want to sort of continue and keep the strife going, is it political ideology? Where does this hatred come
It's
from?
mate, it's it's customized into them through years of sectarianism and divide with our communities. You know, being brought up in Catholic areas, not having Protestants around you. Protestants being brought up in Protestants areas, not having Catholics around you. So you're never hearing the other side of the argument. You're cocooned in your one area, surrounded by your own people. And like from them, it's just a hatred of Britain and what they know, and how it's been indoctrinated in them into how bad the Brits were and the famine and all the rest of it, and the Easter uprising and you know all the terrible things that the English have done to the Irish, and they just won't leave it alone, and they just want to carry on with it. It's a romanticism that it's a cause that I think everybody needs a cause, you know what I mean, and Some of these guys just need to have a cause, and they grasp it by the horns, and they just won't let go, mate. They just won't let go. No matter, they'll sit and scream about the Brits getting out while their country gets flooded with immigrants, not caring that their children are going to be replaced in the future. That's how crazy it is, and I cannot get through to some of them, you know.
I can understand them, Freedom Dad, because I've always been politically minded since the age of 15, and a former member of the British National Party, and I was fully committed to that cause. And I would have gone as far as any Ulsterman went
Yeah.
to defend his country. I would have, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
But there's something inside some men, that makes them that way. This time I'm on the right side, thank God.
Yep.
And thank God there's Freedom Dad. I got to ask you, do you have much support in what you do? Do you have support?
Yeah, I get a lot of love. You know, financially, I don't get much support. I get some buy me a coffees, not much. You know, maybe 150 quid a month. You know what I mean? Maybe 200 quid a month every now and again, which helps me move about, and I'm really grateful for it. I don't monetize my channel because I don't want. I'm just in that situation in Northern Ireland. I'm in a very small community in Northern Ireland. We've only got 2 million in our country, and I don't want the message getting lost, Paul. You know, and a lot of other YouTubers tell me you should monetize, but it's just something that I've decided to do, and it's no. I'm not judging anybody else. I just feel for me in my country. I don't want to be standing in the rain doing demos, talking about immigration, and people going, "Oh, he's only doing that because he's making money in this video." You understand?
I do totally understand. I took a vow when I started this channel that I would never accept donations, never put anything behind a paywall. I've kept that promise, but after a while, I realized I'm actually out of pocket, or my wife is out of pocket, and I live on a pension and struggling. So in the end,
it costs money. I know what you're talking about because I'm putting 40 quid into my phone a month. You know what I mean? To keep the data running. You know what I mean? Because you're always out and about doing lives and stuff like that. And I don't know what your situation where you are. I know is not great with Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So I totally get it, mate. Just the data alone and what you do doing lives costs a fortune. It does, mate, and I get it. You know what I mean?
My wife complains about the electricity, but the support I meant, Freedom Dad, do you have other men behind you, men like yourself, helping you?
Yes, I've got I have to give the EBFD a shout out, East Belfast First Division. Some amazing men who have popped up in the last year, along with Freedom Dad, and we stand shoulder to shoulder, and I support them fully. And I'd like to think that I do any media, I do their media and stuff like that, and I'm a voice for them. And they put up, they're involved in putting up the flags and making sure the colours are raised, you know, as all the guys are doing in England. And they patrol the areas every night, making sure everybody's safe, women are safe coming into the town. Absolutely amazing guys. A couple of them aren't allowed on the internet because of bail conditions, and you know, it's really, really sad.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's really sad, mate, because it's the punishment is the bail conditions. There's not going to be any conviction at the end of the day, but these guys are going to be in bail for maybe a year just to keep them offline because they're good at what they do. And as far as like everywhere I go, I get a lot of love. I'm going to tell you now the paramilitaries per se, what paramilitaries there is, have made it clear that you know they're not going to help me, but they're not going to stop me. You know what I mean? Which can't argue with that. You know, I'm not causing anybody any problems. I'm not doing anything that's detrimental to my country. It is dangerous, but 99% when I'm out and about, people shake my hand, get the photograph taken with me, give me money sometimes. But there's always that chance, as you seen when we coming into the pub, I got jumped. I was very lucky. I managed to get on my feet. If I had went down and stayed down, I would have been in trouble, mate. You know what I mean? So there is a very dangerous element. You don't know if somebody's going to come and punch you in the nose or shake your hand because I'm wide open, mate. Especially when I'm out and about in the town and jumping in the garages and Scott Mids and Spars. You know, I mean, going in and out of shops. You just don't know who you're going to bump into, mate. You know, so but generally my communities fully support me. You know, obviously not everybody agrees with me because of my attitude with the king and the way I speak about the union. But on a whole, I get a really good, warm, good support, mate. But listen, I need to get my phone charged up, mate. I can see it's about to die, and I don't want to just cut off. So I'm going to go for a
Okay.
Sean. I was just popping in to say hello, mate, and I love coming on your channel, and I wanted to say hello to the chat, and I want to say you're doing an absolutely brilliant job, mate. You know what I mean? And I hope I'm doing what you're doing at your age. I hope I've got the sense up there still to be able to make people laugh, and yeah,
It's
amazing. You're
it's
absolutely
because
amazing,
I haven't got no. It's because I haven't got no sense, Freedom Dad. I'm doing it. Listen, Freedom
no
Dad,
filter.
no filter. I'll let you go on one condition.
Thank
You
you.
promise to come back soon
Of
and
course I
talk to
will,
us
mate.
again.
Any chance I can, if I'm free, I'll jump on, mate. If I've got time, I promise you I will jump on and say hello to you in the community.
Okay,
That's what
thank
it's
you,
all
Freedom
about.
Dad.
Yep, no
So,
problem. Yeah, take
and
care of
give
yourself,
our
guys.
give our regards to the people of Ulster. We love them.
I will do,
No
mate.
surrender.
No surrender, mate. Take care. Bye-bye, chat. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Ah, there we go. That was great, wasn't it? That was Freedom Dad. I'll leave a link to his channel. You know, once I mean this, and you know, if I say something, I'll do it. Once this channel is bigger, and this channel will become very big, I'm determined, we'll make sure Freedom Dad has money to go carry on and do his work and get the Catholics and the Protestants kind of working together. I mean, the guy risks his life all the time. I was going to ask him a question about the UDA, the UVF, and the UFF. These are people I used to drink with. They probably all long dead. And I'm just wondering how strong they were today, or have they just withered away on the vine? Okay, shall we have some music? And if anybody else would like to come up, but that was Freedom Daddy. I think he's absolutely awesome. Right, let's have a look here. I know. Let's go to Working Class Patriot.
The dust settles down on the highway, and the neon starts fading to blue. I've looked for a home in the shadows in every town I've passed through, but there's a light in the window calling, like a bell ringing steady and free. I finally found where I'm grounded. Yeah, WCP is the place to be. Oh, WCP is the place to be, where the handshakes are honest and the coffee is free. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found. In a world full of lonesome, I'm finally me, 'cause WCP is the place to be. They say that the road is a master that leads you to nowhere at all, but I built me a bridge over trouble, and I finally stepped over the wall. You can keep all your gold and your silver and your ships out on the deep rolling sea. I'll take the peace and the promise of the folks down at WCP. Oh, WCP is the place to be, where the handshakes are honest and the coffee is free. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found. In a world full of lonesome, I'm finally me. 'Cause WCP is the place to be. You know, sometimes you wander so far, you forget what it's like to belong. But then you walk through those doors and you realize you're home. Yeah, I'm hanging my head where the spirit is free. WCP, that's the place for me.
Ah, I see it. Okay, guys. I'll say it again, connected. Right. Yeah, keep your private wars out of the Green Arrow bar, yeah? Just, we don't want it in here. Take it outside, guys. We just don't want it. And Ribbo's been instructed that if you get out of hand, just to throw you out. If you get drunk in a pub, you get thrown out. If you misbehave in this place, you get thrown out, okay? Okay, right, let's get back now then. You've made me, you can watch this now as punishment, okay? This is your punishment.
Started the same way. 3:30, cold tea, a camera already rolling. Paul, known to his ever-growing audience as the Green Arrow, leaned into the glow of his ring light, adjusting his headphones like a man preparing for battle.
It's like being at
Right,
the cinema,
he'd
isn't it?
mutter, smirking
Great
at his own
stuff.
reflection. Let's see who needs a bit of truth today.
Like that.
And just like that, another video
Good.
began. The internet had become his battlefield, not with swords or shields, but with thumbnails, timestamps, and that unmistakable grin. Where others scrolled past nonsense, Paul paused. Where others ignored it, Paul clicked. And where most would walk away, Paul leaned in and said, "No, this one's mine." There were moments, plenty of them, where he could have just ignored it. A wild claim, a dodgy stream, another voice shouting into the void. Most would shrug and move on, but not Paul, because to him, ignoring it wasn't the point. He'd chuckle, shake his head, take a sip of something stronger than tea, and say, you shouldn't have said that. And that's when it began. Clip by clip, frame by frame, a raised eyebrow here, a cheeky wink there. He didn't just respond, he performed. The comments would flood in before he'd even finished. He's done it again. Green Arrow doesn't miss. Someone check on the other guy, and Paul, he'd just laugh. The kind of laugh that said, "You've made a terrible error of judgment," because every jab became content. Every dig became another moment, and every moment another win. But somewhere along the line, something changed. The persona evolved. The Green Arrow was no longer just reacting. He'd become something else entirely. A sort of anti-hero, a rogue crusader, a one-man tribunal with a ring light instead of a gavel. Grifters? Oh, he had opinions on those. Those who only came for the money, the loud ones, the flashy ones. The trust me bro merchants with suspiciously expensive backdrops and even more suspicious claims. He'd say, narrowing his eyes, something smells off. But it wasn't all serious business, because outside the battlefield of bad takes, there was chaos. Beautiful, glorious chaos. All the messages, all the attention. And unfortunately for Paul, apparently all the ladies. Now, to be clear, Paul remained a married man.
No, you still
Very much so.
I'm married.
The chat would light up, messages flying, reactions piling in. And suddenly, there it was, a full-blown digital stampede. I love you, Paul. Notice me. Green Arrow, please. And Paul would just sit there trying to keep his composure, as if he wasn't being metaphorically chased across the screen by what can only be described as a slow-motion montage of chaos, cheeky comments, and very enthusiastic enthusiasm. At one point, if you squinted, it was practically a Benny Hill sketch. But he never bit, not once. I'm a married man, he'd say calmly, as if that explained everything, which, to be fair, it did. And then, every now and again, he'd glance at the camera, pause, give a small knowing wink, and the entire chat would lose its collective mind. Meanwhile, far away from the noise, there was silence. Mr. Thorpe, a name that lingered in the background like a forgotten footnote. Paul had checked once. Curiosity, really. The last time he looked, 8 subscribers. 8, not shouted, not mocked, just noted. Because not everyone stays in the game, and not everyone builds something that lasts. But Paul, he kept going. Night after night, stream after stream, turning nonsense into content, turning noise into momentum, turning a camera into a stage. And whether you loved him, doubted him, or were just there for the chaos, you watched, you listened, and eventually you understood. Because in the end, the Green Arrow wasn't just a man online. He was a phenomenon, a legend, a mildly confusing force of nature with very strong opinions and impeccable timing. And somewhere, off in the distance, you could still hear the faint echo of that laugh, the grin, the chase. The Green Arrow has wrapped up his stream, reminding everyone to vote for Restore Britain. After signing off, rumours started flying, some saying the legend went off to celebrate in wild fashion. But of course, that's just hearsay. Let's not forget, he's a married man to a lovely lady. On a more serious note, Focus on Britain would like to extend a big thank you to the Green Arrow for his support and for sending his community our way. The positive responses have meant a lot and truly help us grow.
Half-fast 3 screen glow, green coat, see wild theory. Listen close, he says. He's pacing around a room where nobody stays. Anxious, angry, arrogant. While he's on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the online streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads. Winks at the camera and he hits the road. Rattle thoughts, numbers high, 300,000 people standing by, declaring Paul just laughed, checks his reflection in the looking glass, half rogue, half clown, smooth the hair on his head right down. Paul is on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the online streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads, winks at the camera, then he hits the road. Maybe days are long gone, maybe days are dead, maybe dead behind him. Now he's trading the ocean for a screen instead. Benny Hill legs in overdrive, chasing the trouble just to feel alive, feeling alive, feeling alive. Justice, maybe a smile, he laughs it off in his usual style. Uncertain story spreads, living inside of their scrolling heads, walking line between the truth and the trend. He's on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the drifters across the lands. Green arrow of the online streets. Green arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads. Wings like the camera, then he hits the road. Restless heart, restless mind, debt unpaid, left behind. Keep on talking, talking, talking into the night.
Oh, what's this one? This one looks racy. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Boogie Street. This is Boogus, but they call it Boogie Street. Everything happens down Boogie Street. First time I saw Dance of the Flaming Arseholes. What people would do when they were drunk is they get the music on and then they do Dance of the Flaming Arseholes. And if you don't know or ever seen that, you know, it's something to see. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. I'm going to let you guys into a secret now. I'm not an extrovert. I really am not. Rib, I can tell you that. I'm very much an introvert. If I go down the pub and I've got lots of people who know me and lots of people, I suppose, would say I'm a friend, they are quite used to me walking into the club and they're all on one side of the room. I'll get my drink, or rather Sarah will fetch my drink over for me because she loves me. I've got an image somewhere. I'll see if I can find it of me down the club today. My wife took it and she said, "You're a miserable cat." Because all our friends sat at one end of their room, all laughing and joking, and me down the other end. I think some introverts, they make up for it by appearing to be extroverts and talking too much. Compensation thing. Listen, I want to put this song right because I've tried to listen to it a few times now, and apparently it's one for the mothers, and I haven't actually had a chance to listen to all the words, so I guess we'll do it now, shall we?
I found a photograph tucked in a box under the stairs of a woman with a tired smile and 100,000 prayers. You were stitching up my grazed knees and drying every tear, building up a kingdom out of love and chasing every fear. I didn't have the words back then, I was small and just a child, but I was safe within the sanctuary of every time you smiled. And I know I didn't always make it easy for you, Ma, chasing shadows in the street and reaching for the stars. But you were the gravity that kept my feet on the ground, the quietest strength that I have ever found. So here's one for the moms, for the heart of the home, the light in the window when we're feeling alone, for the late night talks and the call me when you're there, for the silent sacrifices and the way you always care. You're the heartbeat of the family, the steady hand, the sun. Yeah, this one's for the mothers, 'cause you're the only one. Now I'm older and the world feels a little more cold. I see the silver in your hair, a story to be told, of the dinners on the table when the cupboards were near bare, and how you'd listen to my nonsense like $1 million prayer. You taught me how the kindness works, you taught me how to give, you showed me that a life of love is the only way to live. And I know I didn't always say I love you enough when the road was getting rocky and the weather getting rough, but you were the compass and you were the map, finding every answer with me sitting in your lap. So here's one for the moms, for the heart of the home, the light in the window when we're feeling alone, for the late night talks, and they call me when you're there, for the silent sacrifices and the way you always care. You're the heartbeat of the family, the steady hand, the sun. Yeah, this one's for the mothers, 'cause you're the only one. It's a love that doesn't bargain, it's a love that doesn't break. It's the patience and the giving and the soul in every bake. If I'm half the person that you are when I grow old, then I've got a heart of diamonds and a spirit made of gold. So here's one for the moms, for the heart of the home, the light in the window when we're feeling alone, for the late night talks and the call me when you're there, for the silent sacrifices and the way you always care. You're the heartbeat of the family, the steady hand, the sun. Yeah, this one's for the mothers. You're the only one. Thanks for everything, Mom.
Well, I liked that. I did like that. That was nice. That was nice. Right. Where do you go to, my lovely? I know. No. Oh, you know that one. That one. When in doubt, go here.
To claim what is rightfully owned. Oh, the blood is the life of the river, and the soil is the soul of the land. The legends are written in iron by a cold and a heavy-handed hand. I'm weary of trail dust and shadows, and the secrets the mountainsides keep. But the green arrows rooted in glory, where the bones of the pioneers sleep. They tell of a man out of legend who tamed the wild heart of the plain with nothing but grit in his spirit and a prayer for the coming of rain. That spirit still beats in the timber. It cries in the whippoorwill's call. It's the pull of the earth
Only
and the
because
lineage
you're beautiful.
that rises up over us all. blood is the life of the river, and the soil is the soul of the land. The legends are written in iron by a cold and a heavy-handed hand.
He's the steady hand upon the wheel, with a heart of gold and nerves of steel, a quiet strength in every stride, walking always by my side. He doesn't need a crown to wear, just being there he shows he'll care. Oh, for the Father standing tall, the ones who catch us when we fall, with a gentle word and a guiding light, keeping shadows from the night. For the Father's brave and true, this melody we play for you. Through the summer heat and winter snow, he watched the seeds of kindness grow. He taught me how to stand my ground in a world that's spinning round and round. A hero in an old work shirt who healed the soul and eased the hurt. Oh, for the Father standing tall, the ones who catch us when we fall, with a gentle word and a guiding light, keeping shadows from the night. For the Father's brave and true, this melody we play for you. More than a name, more than a man, a foundation for the master plan, a legacy that never ends, the greatest of our lifelong friends.
That was beautiful, beautiful. I had a great father as well. I was lucky, really lucky. He lived to a ripe old age. I'm going to do a video about him one day. If you like, I'll do one for you, Goldie. Send some photographs in. We haven't got a mail now. let's check this out, guys, shall we?
How bad reform has come, but this is a fall-off that needs to be studied. As Zia Yusuf says, the Financial Times are projecting that reform is going to gain 2,260 candidate seats at the local elections. Okay, should we have a look at who those candidates are? Because all the major parties were in a hurry to try to find people that were willing to stand as local councillors at the upcoming May the 7th elections. And reform seems to have filled its ranks of foreigners, not just naturalised first and second generation immigrants, but actual foreign nationals. And so I wanted to ask the people who are still members of reform, because again, reform and restores voter base basically a Venn diagram, almost an overlapping circle at this point. We kind of want the same ends for the country. We want mass deportations, demographic security, a prosperous economy, a kind of peaceful civilization that resembles Britain before the 1990s, that we can raise our own children. And is this what you want to vote for? For example, is Mr. Kabir Kerr in Yare and Necton who you want to vote for? Is this suite of candidates from Redbridge? Let's take a look. Rakesh Vasis, Madhuri Bandaru, Sunil Bali, Miki Dutta, Savan Vyas. Like, any of these people that you wanted to vote for when you thought, I'm going to vote for reform to lead the charge against the Uni Party? Our Nige will really stick it to them. We're going to ensure that immigration goes down. We're going to put the British people first. We're going to get our country back. By our, who did they mean? What about in Feltham, where you've got Kushwant Singh and Sukhjit Kaur in Hanworth and Chinmay Paralakar in Feltham, Jag Jassal in Bedfont? Why should I be pronouncing these names reading reform leaflets? Why is this coming out of my mouth? Why, for example, why is this in Hounslow? Councillor Bandana Chopra. She was, what, Labour? Now she's joined Reform. It's clear there are members of the Indian subcontinent that have just jumped ship to whichever political vehicle seems to be the safest or most insurgent to try to farm Izzat, pad out their CV, pad out their LinkedIn, and be able to then use whichever vectors of Britain's political system are available to them to lobby for their ethnic, religious, communal interests. One great example is Heaton Ajwani. He is a Reform UK candidate in Heaton, Lostock and Chew Moor in the Bolton local election, not far from Richard Tice's seat. I did some digging into him. Turns out he is the head of the Bolton Hindu Forum, valuing Hinduism, good British value, and also previously was a Conservative candidate in 2022. This is just jumping aboard the reform bandwagon because it confers relative advantages to strivers from the Indian subcontinent. Speaking of, do you remember this chap? This is Adi Mo Azaduman, who was selected to stand in a Central South Sea seat in May. Councillor George Madwick, who announced it on X, said that the comments that he got in response to standing him as a candidate were frankly disgusting. This guy came over as part of the Boris wave on a student visa from Bangladesh, told George that he plans to go and work in Dubai and then return to, quote, his homeland someday. But while he's here, he thought that he would meddle in Britain's political system by becoming a candidate for the local council in Portsmouth. Why?
Okay. We let it go at that. You all know where Connor's channel is, so if you want to see that in full, you can go over there after, can't you? Meanwhile, we return to the music. I did see somebody I was hoping to come up to the mic. I can't see him, which is surprising because he's really quite large. Huh. Can't really miss him. Oh, and wait a minute, there's Vape Guy over from America. I'm going to put a link up and let's see what happens, see if any of them come to the screen. Is that, what do I, oh, that's right, yeah. Copy that. Oh, Paste. You that, where that? Okay. We have a link up. Yeah, we do. And we're going to go. We don't want that. We want that. Stop sharing that. Okay, anybody like to come up to the mic? The link is in there. Vape Guy, do you want to come and tell us what's happening over in America, the latest news from there? Have they put President Trump in a straitjacket yet? No? It all seems to be happening over there, though, doesn't it? Oh. Well, that wasn't good, was that?
I'm weary of trail, dust, and shadows, and the secrets the mountain sides keep. But the green arrows rooted in glory, where the bones of the pine.
Hi, Vape Guy. Good to see you again, my friend. Good to see you. Is he having trouble with his sound?
No, not at all. Hello.
What happened to that wonderful image of you?
Oh, I haven't got my cam turned on right now.
All right. Okay. I understand. Let me guess. You're running. What day is it? What day is it over there in America?
It is Saturday.
All right. Saturday. Isn't that the night you and your wife strip off naked and then run around the house covered in whipped cream?
Yeah.
I remember.
Not had a wife in, 2020? 26 years. I have been with no one and still enjoy the loneliness. Trust me.
Yeah, I can believe it. Trust me. I'm still serving time.
It's all
So
right.
you're a bachelor man. A bachelor.
Yeah, at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Well, you must be incredibly wealthy then, 26 years without a wife.
That's another thing too. I don't know about wealthy, but I've always got more cash in my wallet by far than I ever did married. So, and I enjoy that too. I'll have to show you my recording studio one day. I've got guitars, drums. I've got the house set the way I want it. And I love it.
Ah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ribeye, our mediocre moderator, he's loaded as well. He's a bachelor.
Oh,
you should see it. Yeah, you should see his place.
Oh,
something else. Yeah, it's
incredible.
Luxurious. Yeah.
Right by the ocean too. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing okay for himself. I think I'm paying him too much. Oh wait, I don't pay him anything.
Right.
I don't know where he gets his money from. I keep expecting to read about him being involved with Keir Starmer and those Ukrainians because he's getting his money from somewhere, but not sure where.
Oh, you've got to hear something, GA. So I was staying in your country, and I kid you not, just hear me out. So I'm staying in your country, and the place I'm staying has a set of rules, and I'm reading the rules. Okay, none of this, none of that, no pets, whatnot. And here is our Wi-Fi service. And if you have any problems whatsoever, phone Simon Bennett. And I literally, you have got to be kidding me. I swear, because I remember all the drama that had gone. I thought I have got to show this to a good friend of mine over there that was aware of all that. And I said, I've got to call this guy. And he said, no, don't do it. We don't need that drama right now. But I have not forgotten that day.
No, it was a bad time, wasn't it? For those of you who don't know.
Amazing. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was the guy who hang on, I'm waiting to see if Ribeye tells me if it's okay. Yeah, right. Simon Bennett was the webmaster of the BNP. and he hated me. He really hated me. You see, I started up Home of the Green. First of all, it was the Home of the Green Arrow. Then I opened up a big website, Friends of the Green Arrow. Teams of writers and video makers were joining me, the crusade. Much the way we are going now, we will grow, you'll see. And then I had the British Resistance, and this was mega big with the radio station and everything. And he hated me. And he was always attacking me. And then when it all kicked off, he was one of them who doxed my mother's house and stuff like that. Fellow patriots ripped him to bits, not physically, but he was outed as a traitor to the party. Saw a video of him the other day. But he bought you were, yeah. I don't know whether you should have told me you brought back a lot. No, I'm glad you told me.
Well, I just remember too, being an American and whatnot, I was following the whole thing nevertheless. And it was the night before Nick Griffin's standing in Barkening and Dagenham. And the website, the BNP website, was really the only voice the BNP had anywhere where they could speak without, bias and interruption, which they could not give with the media. And the night before the election, I said, well, better catch up. And I can't get the site up. He had taken the site down. I thought, boy, that really helps things. I don't know if it would have, completely influenced the election or not, but it sure didn't help anything for that to happen that evening. That was terrible.
Absolutely terrible. And it was done deliberate. And, I don't care. I've got the evidence at any rate. I don't know if you remember, Ribaz, we done that exposure on him with regards to the money and everything that had been misappropriated. Yeah. Seriously, guys, you have to be careful who you trust. You really must.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that. I mean, that's long under the bridge. I understand that. But it was just that evening, and I picked that up. Oh, my gosh. Maybe I should call this guy and just mess with him or something. Man, this Wi-Fi ain't working. Do you have any idea what you're... No, I'm leaving, going back to the United States, and I'm telling nobody I ever come here, you fool, and hang... I mean, really, that would have been hilarious, man. Maybe I should...
Yeah. Yeah. When he took... And the thing is, that when that happened, fortunately, we were still going and we were able to provide a backup with the news and everything that was happening. We used to promote all the branches and different groups. They each had their own pages. And so literally, as soon as the story came in, we turn it around on the British Resistance. You can still see some of the articles that we produced over on the Wayback Machine. Just look up for the British Resistance or Home of the Green Arrow. Yeah. Oh, dear. Hey, and any of you ladies, I really thought some of the ladies were going to come up tonight and join us. Hey, we got a rich American over here. Come on. He's got a big, giant studio. Just imagine what you could do with that room. You could sell off all his musical equipment and put some washing machines and ironing stuff in there. And, well, you could even have a kitchen in there to cook for him, couldn't you? Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's too long.
I love your country. And honestly, as I approach retirement, I'm really considering selling my house next year and looking around, at foreclosures and things like that. You've got them in your country just as sure as we do here. So I don't know if I could do anything like that or not. But anyway, it's something in my mind. I've discussed this many times with our fellow good guy in there, Ribeye Rob. But many times. So anyway, it's all just a matter of it falling into place. But it's so great to see you again and hear from you again. We had, for years I've asked him, so have you heard from GA? No, ain't heard a thing. Well, is he still living? Yeah, he's still living, I'm pretty sure. And anyhow, oh yes, you're very much alive. Good to see you.
Yeah, a lot of people said that when I, after what happened, Vape Guy, it hit me pretty hard. And I think it hit all of us pretty hard, didn't it? Ribeye bounced back pretty quick, because he was always more active in the Pal Talk room with you guys. And as you know, I tend to be a bit of an isolationist, introvert when it came to that, unless I was on on show like I'm on show now, then I just go off on my own. But that hit me pretty bad, that did, vape guy. And I think it took me a long time to get over it. And I was looking for political parties. What was that Jimmy Dean film, Rebel Without a Cause? That's what I felt.
Yeah.
I felt like a rebel without a cause.
Right.
I had no one to fight for. And without anything to fight for, I didn't seem to have any purpose. Then Advance UK came along, and I thought, well, it's the only game in town. Give them a go. And then, fortunately, Rupert Lowe came along, and that was that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you were okay. I enjoyed it when you came over to our country. Funnily enough, I was talking to my granddaughter, who you met, and I was telling her, and she had to cast her mind back, and I said, you were wearing those American-style pants and everything? Well, she's all grown up now. She's the mother of my great-granddaughter. Yeah, you'd love her. I'm going to just see if I can find something here.
Okay.
No, you carry on. Oh,
well, I will say, too, the good thing, what things like the BNP did accomplish, as we talked about in the past, whether they won elections or not, had no bearing on their ability to connect like-minded people from all over the Western world. And that the BNP accomplished, because had they not existed, I would probably have never met you or anyone else, over there that thinks like we do. So that in that respect, the BNP was a very good thing. And that's the good thing about all these parties, like, what is it now? It's not, it's Restore UK. There you go. It is, and it's good. And the more that our people become a minority, the more important this is going to be. Whether we win elections or not, I think we've all given up on that. But, or maybe not given up, but I mean, goodness gracious, they just seem like a waste of time. But we talked about that years ago. There was a guy in the room back then. He went by the name of Daz. And
right. Yeah.
He was one of the first. I didn't really understand your system that well, but he explained something to me really well, because I was all upset, what had happened, with the website being taken down. And he said, John, listen to me. He said, if even if the BNP had won these elections and we were ecstatic, that would be great. We would have like 8 seats. Listen, the parliament, they don't have to do anything if we have 8 seats. Absolutely useless. Now, it would have been a nice salary for the guys in there that, that have those jobs now because of those seats. It would give them a nice living. He said, but that's about it. As far as us getting our agenda through, dude, I mean, forget it. It would not guarantee anything of the sort. He said, so, and he ended up, right about that.
Well, Rupert Lowe is open, Rupert Lowe knows that we need more than a few MPs to get anywhere. We need to sweep the board with them. How's Trent, by the way?
He's right here. Hang on. Let me get him. Trent, you feel like coming? All right. Yep. Here he comes. Hang on. Well, hello, you guys. I gave you up for dead. But racism is well to do over there, evidently. It never does go away. So, the same thing's happening. Oh, and by the way, you folks, I'm gay. I didn't know you might be able to tell that. But anyway, John's for those of you that are pro-gay, John is, what's his name? Oh, what does he go by in here? Thinks he's hiding. Oh yeah, vape guy. Yeah, he is a racist, and he does not like gay people. So for you in here that like gays, I'm always close by if you want to talk. So all right, Trent, give me that mic. But just go on, just get out of here.
Well, I don't. Vape guy, you've got to put up with Trent, and I've got to put up with Revive. Okay, have a look at this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me get that. Hang on. Oh, hang on. It's up. I've got to get it in. There's the camera there. Can you make that out? No. There. It's the old Voice of the British Resistance badge.
Wow.
from our old station. There can't be
Cool.
many of these left. There was only a couple of them made. I
Gotcha.
still carry it, and I still got my
Excuse me.
BMP badges. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, I was diehard, you know that. Oh, God. Anyhow,
Right.
should we have another two? Oh, hang on. I have to ask you first, Vape Guy. What's happening in America with regards to this Iranian war? Are the American people speaking out against it?
Oh, so we just found out that if you're between 18 and 40, I think it's 18 and 42, you're automatically registered in the draft. If they have your social security number, if they have your identity, which they just about have everyone's in the country, unless you're here not legally, which, yeah, we've got a country full of those. But if you are a traditional American, you are now registered with the draft, whether you like it or not. So now they're not planning, that I can see, to draft people yet. There's not a draft per se to go to Iran, but that's not going to fly at all if they do that. It's not. It's going to really have a lot of people upset, and especially, I'll use myself as an example. If a member of my family, one of my nephews or cousins or my son, is suddenly being drafted to go to Iran, whom I very likely could never see again, and yet we have people illegally here, and they're enjoying life here, and they're not being drafted. You think that's going to go over? No, that's not going to fly, man. I mean, that could be the final nail in the coffin there for a lot of people. So here's another thing. So the United States military does not want a bunch of recruits that don't want to be there. They don't want to train them and fool with them. So there'd be no point. It's kind of like a judge over here ordering someone to go to alcohol and drug rehabilitation, and they don't want to go. They don't want to be there. Well, the people at the rehab center don't want them there either if they don't want to be there. And the military in this context is the exact same way. People that don't want anything to do with the military, believe me, they don't want to train them. It's just a useless waste of their time. So the draft in that respect would be a disaster. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was just in agreement with you. That's all.
Yeah.
Let's play some music. Hey, do you like this style of music? Hold on.
It's a thick, heavy tie to the hollows. It's a debt that you pay with your years to keep the old flame from the ashes and wash away history's tears.
I like this kind of music, Big Guy.
Yeah. Remember,
Come back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember, I used to play Heaven's Just a Sin Away a lot, and everybody really liked it. Most people over there had never heard that song, but yeah.
It's beautiful. Well, this is AI generated, and
I was thinking that. Yeah.
You'd know that being a musician, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like it. Some mornings I've just got it and I just play it on stream. It's easy to listen to. Early in the morning, it's nice. Like if we open up the room, we just have it playing in the background and chat. It's easy listening. We got some funny stuff. We get in a big library of different soundtracks that we can play now. All right. Anybody else like to join us at the mic? What happened to the big guy? He's gone, is he? He's gone. Well, Oh, did you see? Let me show you something, vape guy, if I can. Visual there. And we'll come here and here. Oh, not there. We'll go there. My background. I was hoping that 2 people would be coming in tonight to have a debate with me, but they never showed vape guy. I had a bit of trouble last night and this morning with the Reds or the bad guys, you know. I don't know if you read the video. I don't know if you saw the video about it. But,
I don't think I did. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just someone sending a nasty email. We don't bother with it. It's not worth talking about, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. But it's on the channel if you want to watch it. I published the letter that was sent, you know.
Right.
Anyhow, let's have a look at this, is that?
The camera flickered on. Richard Inman's garden shed looked like a dojo for the over 50s, complete with a battered punching bag, broomsticks, and the faint smell of old coffee. Today's lesson, the 50 slap, a secret self-defense technique passed down by masked friends who like to ambush him at inconvenient moments. Richard's opponent, a masked figure who moved like Kato from the Pink Panther, lunged suddenly. Swoosh! Bang! Wallop! Inman yelped, Jesus Christ, before realizing he'd said the Lord's name in vain. He froze, eyes wide, and but heartfelt apology mid-swerve. Forgive me, Lord, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Meanwhile, across the channel, Paul Thorpe cradled his favorite red mug of steaming coffee, leaning perilously close to the camera. His teeth glowed like a dental apocalypse.
Sorry, guys, I've got to stop this for a second. Vape guy, can you tell the audience what ribeye is like when it comes to flying? Oh, wow! You okay there, vape guy? Come back. Oh. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. You there?
Yeah, I thought you'd had an home invasion then. You hit the bump, and I thought, he's just.
Did I? Oh, sorry. Nah. No, actually, that was my. I don't know if you remember my other next door neighbor, Wilson.
Oh,
He'd
yes.
like to come to the mic. Yeah, he is an African American, for those of you that don't know, and he's not in too bad a shape. But yeah, Wilson, you want to come over here? Yeah. How y'all doing? I ain't never been over there. Let's see, over there to the UK. But one of these days, I might, get on a plane and fly over there. John, what he call himself? Vape guy. Yeah, he said he go over there with me, cause me being black, I kind of scared to, go over there. I might not come back. But John, he said, that it'd be all right. So anyway, nice meeting y'all, and I just give it back here to him.
Thank you, Wilson.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Wilson.
Yeah, thanks, Wilson. Yeah, nice neighbor you've got there.
He's all right. He's not totally going like a lot of lefties over here.
Okay. I was going to ask you, tell us what ribeye's like at fly-in. Can you remind me?
Well, let's just say he refuses. Every time I've asked him, to do it, he's like, no, thank you. He's not interested in being in the air.
No, he's not, is he? He's a strange. I'm glad he's got you to talk to. It means I don't have to talk to him. Anyhow, back to the music.
All right.
I call him the mediator, the mediocre moderator. Hang on, we're gonna there. We were there, wasn't we?
So bright that even the sun might squint. As he spoke, fine droplets of coffee and saliva misted across the lens, clouding the viewer's vision. Right, Paul said, squinting. Let's get some super chats in, and maybe, Stone Island coat. Yes, today's donations mean a new coat. He glanced at the ticker, climbing by the second. His teeth reflected back like two suns in a toothpaste commercial. Soon, Paul and Richard teamed up for their duo live stream. Richard sat in his chair, Bible clutched like a shield, glancing around as if expecting divine intervention or another masked Kaito attack. Paul, meanwhile, leaned close to the camera, teeth blinding, mist flying, reading out super chats while calculating how many more coats he could buy with the donations. Look, the UK is falling apart, Paul said, teeth gleaming dangerously. But your support, your donations allow me to continue, saving the nation. Richard nodded. Pledge to the Lord and the movement. His voice shook as if his entire body were vibrating with zeal. Later that day, Inman streamed alone. The camera showed him pacing, muttering to himself about flies buzzing endlessly around his garden, a symbol of cosmic frustration he couldn't quite explain. Lord, forgive me, I didn't mean that, he sighed, adjusted his camera, and delivered a contrite apology, heartfelt and fully monetized. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Moments later, Kaito emerged from the shadows, and Inman, having survived the coffee ambush, jabbed him in the face. You nearly made me lose my grip, he growled. Back in Spain, Paul's phone rang. A friend's voice barked warnings. Richard is a disaster. He's the weak link. People are unsubscribing. Paul's hand instinctively went to his face, covering his glowing teeth as he muttered, Not again. We can't lose another coat budget. Meanwhile, Inman was live again, cackling at the camera. Dinosaur brain! Dinosaur brain! Isn't that clever? His audience cringed, laughed, and unsubscribed in equal measure. Paul's response? Desperation. Just please, shut up, he whispered into the phone, imagining himself smothering Inman's mouth to save the movement. The chaos continued. Inman hosted a breakfast show featuring hymns and prayers that looked like a child's DIY project. Paul made damage control videos from his car, teeth flashing, coats intact, desperately trying to make Dino Bane look bad. But Dino's responses were surgical, pointing out every flaw, every hypocrisy, every overblown gesture. Paul's subscriber count plunged. No more coats, no more trips to the dentist. Panic set in. Inman, oblivious, trained in his garden, pondering the endless flies, pondering cosmic meaning, pondering Kato's next ambush. He muttered. Where is that devilish creature today? In a private moment, kneeling in prayer. Lord, why not bless me with Paul's looks, Paul's teeth, Paul's personality? The punching bag swayed ominously. Inman's eyes widened. My Lord, I hear you. I see you. I know my duty. I must go to the Tommy Robinson March, spread the gospel. Unbeknownst to him, Kato crouched behind the bag, ready for another ambush, but paused, seeing the broken state of his beloved master. Kato. The next day, Paul streamed again, teeth blazing, super chats flying, lamenting the collapse of Britain, while Inman shouted dinosaur brain across the screen. Paul groaned. Stop, please, that's not funny. Inman jumped up, enraged. You're throwing me under the bus! You know what happens when I get angry. That sets me up for a fall. Paul doubled down on damage control. Videos dissecting Dino Bane, trying to maintain appearances. It didn't work. Subscriber losses skyrocketed. Grifts crumbling, coats at risk, teeth still blinding. Kato. Meanwhile, in Inman's garden, Kato was overwhelmed by an army of flies. All the training, all the effort, useless. Inman was revealed for what he was, a grifter masquerading as a teacher, a preacher, a protector. The community erupted online, unsubscribes, outrage, confusion, and occasional defense from diehards. The world had a front row seat to the collapse of the grift. This story is to be continued. So now you've heard the tale of Richard Inman, although purely fiction. Focus on Britain hopes you've enjoyed his fun and games for exactly what he is. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share the video with your friends and family because some people need to be shown to the world for exactly what they are. Kato. That's it for now, children. Stay safe and be good. And
okay, guys, we've got someone else in the room. Let's add him to the stage. Yeah, we got 3 there. Can we do it that way? Just
Good
yeah,
evening,
let's do
Paul.
that.
Good evening, Paul.
Hello, Sparky. I'm just trying to make out your. Oh, right. Yeah, very thoughtful. How are you? Thanks for coming up to the mic, Sparky.
Hey, say that again, bro.
Thank you for coming up to the mic.
No worries, mate. No worries, man. I haven't been on StreamYard for ages. It seems to have changed since the last time I've been on here.
I'm new to it myself, to be honest. I'm new to it myself.
I'm not new to it. I've got my own channel. I've probably done hundreds of lives, but not for like the last 6 months or something. I've been ill.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
Well, I come out of hospital about, I don't know, I think it was 3 weeks ago now. I've got COPD and emphysema and all that, so, you know.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, I'm one of those individuals who never seem to get anything wrong with them. I don't get colds. I don't fall over and break my leg. I can get blinded. I can get drunk and fall over and smack my head. And
there's time yet. There's time yet, Paul. You can catch something, mate. There's time yet.
Yeah, plenty of time. Yeah, I'll probably get something serious, I suppose. Well, I'm glad you're here, Sparky, because I can listen to the conversation. I've got to go and pour myself a drink, so you can tell the viewers a bit about yourself. I'll be listening. I won't be far away. And oh, by the way, that's Vape Guy. He's from America. Introduce yourselves.
Hello, mate. Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I thought I'd grace Paul with my presence tonight, as I've been watching him a few weeks now.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. I have not spoken to GA in ages, so it's kind of a nostalgic trip back into the scene here a little bit. But I've been to your country 3 times, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and hope to come back one of these days.
Okay.
So yeah, I noticed something too. I was following these guys and talking to them back in 2010, I think. And man, there was a lot of persecution going on. Now it's really lightened up, at least over in America. I've been reading some audiobooks, and one I just auditioned for. It's got the N word, it's got the F word all over the place. And I even told them, I said, now look, I said, I happen to not be African American. And they were like, we know that and we don't care. I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's for a mainstream site. But now in 2010, that wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have been worth the risk either. But things have changed on the internet, I have noticed. It's not quite as bad as it was back then, even though we were a lot freer to share around information back then. But I guess I'm saying it's a lot of these pro-white talking points is what I'm trying to say are now mainstream, which back then you had to, go to the BMP or David Duke, .com and things like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, time is running out in this country. We need something to happen, and we need something to happen fast, mate.
Right.
And
you need far more than just the ability to say the N-word in public. That's not going to cut it. You need your country back. You got a lot you need back. Same over here.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been ill recently, and I sat in the hospital, and I'm thinking, I've got kids, I've got grandkids. Something needs to change, so I've decided I'm going to set up my own channel as well, and, the more fucking voices, the merrier.
Yeah, agreed 100% there, Sparky. If you let us have a link, I don't know, how long's your channel been going?
This channel, the channel I'm on here now, Sparky Shack, is my original channel about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I used to do lives on it all the time, but I've stopped doing lives on this one, and I just put a load of shorts on. But I'm setting up a new channel because, the sort of things we discuss, Paul, or what I will be discussing, you can lose a channel overnight. So I don't really want to lose this one. It's got 70,000 subs,
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's something. That is something. Well, yeah. we could do with more patriotic channels. I've only found like 5 or 6 that I rely on, the usual ones, Dino Bain, Vindicator, Gobster, Saxon Thor, but I don't think Saxon Thor's going to be around long. He's had 2 copyright strikes already. And if you watch his content, you can understand why. Great content.
Yes, Saxon Thor, I absolutely love his channel. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But doesn't he sail close to the wind?
Yeah, and Dino Bain. Dino Bain, he talks a lot of sense.
So
yeah, absolutely, both of them.
That's
and
where
Vindicator.
That's what they're looking at. Like you said, copyright stuff, they will pull you quickly for that these days. And it was never like that back in the day, I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let's have a little song a second. Yeah.
Okay.
And I like this one as well, Vape Guy. I don't know. What do you think of this one, Sparky? Stand by. If I can...
The banners hung heavy, all tattered and torn, in the valley where kings and their legends were born.
The iron was rusted, the gardens were dry, and a shroud of gray ashes had swallowed the sky.
For years we had drifted, for years we had strayed, while the stones of our fathers
began to degrade. The hearts were all cold and the children were still,
as the shadow of winter crept over the hill.
Oh, the kingdom was falling, the walls crumbling down.
Lost was the glory and lost was the crown.
But when the clock struck the hour of deepest despair,
a voice like a trumpet rang out through the air.
Not a lord in his silk, nor a knight in his mail, but a humble man Rupert who stepped through the gate.
He didn't have silver,
he didn't have gold,
just a heart that was honest
and hands that were bold.
He stood in the square where the elders would meet, with the dust of the roadway still thick on his feet.
He spoke not of conquest or vengeance or pride,
but of the love for the soil that we'd buried inside.
He spoke of the ancestors, sturdy and deep,
who had planted the orchards we neglected to keep.
Oh, the kingdom was falling, the walls crumbling down.
Lost was the glory
and lost was the crown. But when the clock struck the hour of deepest despair,
a voice like a trumpet rang out through the air.
Not a lord in his silk, nor a knight in his mail,
but a humble man Rupert who stepped through the gale. He picked up a hammer, he picked up a plow.
He said, if we don't save our home, tell me when, tell me how.
And one by one, neighbors looked up from the mud, with the fire of old memories stirring their blood. The blacksmith, the baker, the girl from the mill, they followed his lead up the side of the hill.
Come on, lady, come up to the mic, otherwise I'll sing.
The strength of the back, they mended the breach and they filled every crack. The gardens were planted, the bells started to ring,
and the birds in the rafters began once to sing.
It wasn't the sword that had won back the day, but the courage to work and the spirit to stay in the land of our fathers, the place we belong, where the weak found their power and the quiet grew strong. Now the kingdom is rising, the hearts are aglow, and the rivers of silver through
through green meadows low. We tell of the darkness, we tell of the night.
That run, Paul.
Who led us back in?
You know it.
Yes, we sing of the hero who answered the call, and the home that was restored for the good of us all.
I don't believe that, Goldie girl. Come on, Goldie girl, come up. We'll do a duet. Otherwise, I'll sing my song.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, Goldie girl. I could do a mean Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, you can you? Come on, yeah. Let's do it then, Sparky. I want to hear it.
No, it's not that mean. Paul, was it you the other day, or it might have been some other channel I was listening? But did you play the Mac Davis band? Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble.
Yeah, that's my song. Oh,
that
Lord,
is my song as well, mate.
Humble.
I couldn't believe it because not many people play that song. I thought, am I hearing this properly?
Yeah, that's my wife plays it all the time, and he says it's my song. And
I used to have a girlfriend, but I guess she just couldn't compete. That is my favourite song.
I play it now, but I keep getting copyright warnings, and you know what it's like. I just completed their copyright school. Have you been to one of them yet?
Yeah. Quite a laugh, isn't it?
Oh, hold on, guys. Oh dear. This is trouble. He left a comment on our channel today. It's Oliver Cromwell. He actually said something nice about me. He confirmed that I actually served in the armed forces. Yeah. Salute. I know this guy. He was in Germany. He was in the missile regiment out in Germany when I was in the Royal Navy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Am I still coming through?
Yeah, you're still there. Come back there, Breaker.
Yeah, Breaker one, mine, whatever. We don't. That's the thing. We don't use the CB radio anymore. Nobody does. I mean, it's about gone. It's a thing of the past. I hate to say it. The smartphone has just all but replaced it. And
people should start using it again, mate. Because when the old bill goes down, you'll want a CB.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. But yeah, I haven't had a CB in a truck in a long time, but sometimes I do miss it. I was going to say something. Darn it, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. Speaking of trucks, looks like a lot of truck drivers in Ireland are just parking their lorries and just walking away. And if that happens to be right in the middle of an intersection, oh, well. Somebody will tow it within 8 hours. And now the government over there is threatening military action against a lot of them. What's going on there?
I think the police have stepped up with Dave Brian and nicking them all. You know, the government got us by the bollocks. You can't do fuck all. You'll get nicked, won't you? Listen, Paul, sorry about my language, but I am a swearer, I'm afraid.
Yes. Sorry, Sparky. Funnily enough, trust you to come in on the first day that we were trying to implement.
Oh, sugar.
No. Hey, we're all ex-forces. Guys, can you say hello to Oliver Cromwell? I'm going to expose him or who he is. He's actually my brother. He is brother number 3.
Nice.
He's finally decided to come and have a look at the channel. Salute.
Good evening, Oliver.
Yeah. He's brother number 3 out of 5 brothers. Brother number 2 died, and brother number 5 died.
Is he older or younger, Paul?
He's brother number 3. He's I'm the oldest. I'm brother number 1. Brother number 2 died. There's brother number 3 up there. Brother number 4 was in the Paras. He's up on Snowdon at the moment. And brother number 5 died young a few months back. Something to do with a bottle of vodka. There we go. Brother, you know what brother brother number 3 is the one who at my brother number 5's funeral came over to brothers number 1 and brothers number 4 with 3 sticks. And he said, whoever draws the shortest stick goes next. I don't know which one of us drew the shortest stick. People were looking at us because we burst out laughing at the funeral of my brother. Sense of humor. We were all in the military, you see. Yeah. Okay, well, let's have a... We've done some of that. Hang on, I'll have to play this for my brother if I can find it.
All right.
Yeah, stand by. Stand by. Stick around, brother. I got something you might want to see. Okay, guys.
It always started the same way.
Got a roll there.
3:30, cold tea, a camera already rolling. Paul, known to his ever-growing audience as the Green Arrow, leaned into the glow of his ring light, adjusting his headphones like a man preparing for battle.
It's like being at
Right,
the cinema, isn't
he'd
it?
mutter, smirking
Great
at his own
stuff.
reflection. Let's see who needs a bit of truth today. And just like that, another video began. The internet had become his battlefield, not with swords or shields, but with thumbnails, timestamps, and that unmistakable grin. Where others scrolled past nonsense, Paul paused. Where others ignored it, Paul clicked. And where most would walk away, Paul leaned in and said, "No, this one's mine." There were moments, plenty of them, where he could have just ignored it. A wild claim, a dodgy stream, another voice shouting into the void. Most would shrug and move on, but not Paul, because to him, ignoring it wasn't the point. He'd chuckle, shake his head, take a sip of something stronger than tea, and say, you shouldn't have said that. And that's when it began. Clip by clip, frame by frame, a raised eyebrow here, a cheeky wink there. He didn't just respond, he performed. The comments would flood in before he'd even finished. He's done it again. Green Arrow doesn't miss. Someone check on the other guy, and Paul, he'd just laugh. The kind of laugh that said, you've made a terrible error of judgment. Because every jab became content, every dig became another moment, and every moment another win. But somewhere along the line, something changed. The persona evolved. The Green Arrow was no longer just reacting. He'd become something else entirely. A sort of anti-hero, a rogue crusader, a one-man tribunal with a ring light instead of a gavel. Grifters? Oh, he had opinions on those. Those who only came for the money, the loud ones, the flashy ones. The trust me bro merchants with suspiciously expensive backdrops and even more suspicious claims. He'd say, narrowing his eyes, something smells off. But it wasn't all serious business, because outside the battlefield of bad takes, there was chaos. Beautiful, glorious chaos. All the messages, all the attention. And unfortunately for Paul, apparently all the ladies. Now, to be clear, Paul remained a married man.
No, you still
Very much so.
I'm married.
The chat would light up, messages flying, reactions piling in. And suddenly, there it was, a full-blown digital stampede. I love you, Paul. Notice me. Green Arrow, please. And Paul would just sit there trying to keep his composure, as if he wasn't being metaphorically chased across the screen by what can only be described as a slow-motion montage of chaos, cheeky comments, and very enthusiastic enthusiasm. At one point, if you squinted, it was practically a Benny Hill sketch. But he never bit, not once. I'm a married man, he'd say calmly, as if that explained everything, which, to be fair, it did. And then, every now and again, he'd glance at the camera, pause, give a small knowing wink, and the entire chat would lose its collective mind. Meanwhile, far away from the noise, there was silence. Mr. Thorpe, a name that lingered in the background like a forgotten footnote. Paul had checked once. Curiosity, really. The last time he looked, 8 subscribers. 8, not shouted, not mocked, just noted. Because not everyone stays in the game, and not everyone builds something that lasts. But Paul, he kept going. Night after night, stream after stream, turning nonsense into content, turning noise into momentum, turning a camera into a stage. And whether you loved him, doubted him, or were just there for the chaos, you watched, you listened, and eventually you understood. Because in the end, the Green Arrow wasn't just a man online. He was a phenomenon, a legend, a mildly confusing force of nature with very strong opinions and impeccable timing. And somewhere, off in the distance, you could still hear the faint echo of that laugh, the grin, the chase. The Green Arrow has wrapped up his stream, reminding everyone to vote for Restore Britain. After signing off, rumours started flying, some saying the legend went off to celebrate in wild fashion. But of course, that's just hearsay. Let's not forget, he's a married man to a lovely lady. On a more serious note, Focus on Britain would like to extend a big thank you to the Green Arrow for his support and for sending his community our way. The positive responses have meant a lot and truly help us grow.
Half-fast, three-screen, glow green coat, see wild theory, listen close, he says. He's pacing around the room where nobody stays. Anxious, angry, arrogant. While he's on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the online streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads, winks at the camera and he hits the road. Rattled thoughts, numbers high, 300,000 people standing by, declaring Paul just laughed, checks his reflection in the looking glass, half row, half crown, smooths the hair on his head right down. Paul is on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the online streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads, winks at the camera, then he hits the road. Maybe days are long gone, maybe days are dead, maybe dead behind him. Now he's trading the ocean for a screen instead. Betty Hill exit overdrive, chasing the trouble just to feel alive, feeling alive, feeling alive. Justice, maybe a smile, he laughs it off in his usual style. Uncertain story spreads, living inside of their glowing heads, walking line between the truth and the trend. Well, he's on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the online streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads, winks at the camera, then he hits the road. Restless heart, restless mind, debt unpaid, left behind. Keep on talking, talking, talking into the night.
Oh, what's this one? This one looks racy. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Boogie Street. It's Boogus, but we call it Boogie Street. Everything happens down Boogie Street. Okay. Come back, John. You still there, my friend?
You hear me?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
You got rid of Wilson?
Oh, no, Wilson's still around. Now, here's something. So I just pulled up an audition script, and this is right off ACX, which is a site run by Amazon. And I was talking about the freedom of speech earlier. Okay, this has the N-word right smack in the middle of it. I will not say that. Well, I don't want to get you in trouble with YouTube, but it's right here. So, but anyway, it goes like this, and it's African-American first person reading this, which, here you go. I blinked and I saw Brandon gripping the steering wheel, his expression tense, you know, a gun resting in his lap. And I said, what the fuck going on? I asked, my heart racing, you know. I glanced in the mirror and he said, it's two trucks following us. He hit the dash and called Miko and he said, yo, what's up, N-word? Why the fuck didn't you take me to Cancun with you? So anyway, you know, I'm not near as afraid to speak online now as I used to be because it's just amazing.
I've noticed a change in you since when we first met. You seem to be, I don't know, more confident in yourself, if I could say that. I don't know whether it was because you were meeting us for the first time and you were a bit reserved, I don't know, but you've certainly come out a long way with your music and your personality. I like it. 1 second.
I didn't want to say a whole lot when I was in your country because you don't have freedom of speech laws there like, you do in America. And I didn't want to get in trouble, somebody overhear me and, get kicked out and all that. Maybe I was too paranoid. I probably was, but I was just one of those Americans that was raised to be polite at first. That's part of being white. It really is.
Hey, well, listen, have a look at, can you see the comments there? Babe guy on the screen, can you read the comment?
Yeah.
What
No,
does it
let's
say?
see. The comment in the chat room?
Yeah.
The very last one I've got, it says,
oh, no. Is there no one on the screen from Mel Squash across the bottom of the screen?
Paul, can Vape Man tell us what it's like where he lives? Yeah, well, what does she want to know exactly when you say what it's like? We are probably still 85% white here, but we have a lot of Hispanics here now. And Hispanics and blacks do not get on with each other very well. And all the Mexicans, they work like dogs. I'll give them that. Most of them anyway. They do construction work out in the middle of the sun. And they're always building stuff. And we have all these white contractors here that make a fortune off of them. And they get along with them real well because they don't want to go back to Mexico. And if you know what I look like, whenever I go to a job site, if there's rumors going around that ICE is looking for people, well, they take one look at me and just run. And I'm like, whoa, quit running. I'm not a cop. Just calm down, amigo. Smoke a peace pipe there. Geez, you crazy Aztecs or whatever. But, so we got a lot of that. And of course, guns, we've talked about that before. Anybody can buy a gun in Kentucky. You're not supposed to do it if you're a felon. But we have private firearm sales here all the time, and it's perfectly legal. I mean, I could go to a yard sale or what we call a flea market and sell a pistol to any person, and I don't have to get their ID or anything. Now, if they have a criminal record, it's on them, but it's not on me. So anyway. So Kentucky now, it's expensive to live here. It's expensive to live here anymore. Way too expensive, and that's a shame. But it's that way everywhere. Go ahead.
Sorry, babe guy. What about the scenery?
Okay. Have you seen the movie The Last of the Mohicans? I talked to some British. Yeah, they love that movie. That's it. That's exactly what it looks like around here. Exactly.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the British were here. We have some battlefield sites from the American Revolution, and the British were here a long time ago. It's amazing that the British came over here on wooden ships, that they had that technology then, and they weren't clear how big this place really was, but they were definitely here. And of course, their culture got spread everywhere. If they would have just let us have our churches and separate that from the government, we might still be under the British government. That was the major dispute between the colonists and the British forces.
Yeah, it is. America.
Well, they just could not fathom that somebody would think that a church doesn't pay tax to the government. And the colonists were like, we cannot believe you cannot see the problems with that back in England and the rest of Europe. And it reached the boiling point, and then a revolution broke out here, as I know. And Last of the Mohicans, that's a very good film. That's pretty much what was going on here at the time.
Well, actually, it was also a very good book. I remember reading it as a child. James Fenimore Cooper. Back in those days when we didn't have smartphones and TVs, there's only one channel on the TV, I remember.
Right.
We read books, and I read all the great classics. Moby Dick, The Story of a Whale, stuff like that. Treasure Island, Swiss Family. I could reel off all the classics I've read. And sadly, today people don't read books. Listen, guys, I'm gonna have to close. I'm gonna have to close the chat room down now for maybe 30 minutes. I need a break.
Okay.
And nothing. I just need a break. And then, Ribeye, what are you doing later this evening when I've had a break? Are you good to roll again? He's fallen asleep. He does that. He says it's because he has had nothing to eat. He's weak and feeble. Oh, God, I hope he's not trying to get out to escape again. He does it all the time. Yes, I do. What a superb book. Oh, that's my brother coming in there. He likes to read as well. The Last Canadian, absolutely brilliant book. Yeah. Bonus to sign on to join us. You don't. Shall I leave you there? You then? On your own? No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, guys, I'm going to have to close down until 2100. Vid guy will be back on at 9. I just got to take a break. Okay, mate?
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks a lot. Oh, and if you people get a chance, read the book, The Last Canadian. Fabulous. Okay. I don't even bother doing the outro. We'll play the outro on the next one.